stop. Like,
No, I'm not stopping.
Fucking Hunter,
no way.
no.
This is where we are.
Stop it.
This is
Stop
who
it.
we are.
Stop
This is
it.
where we are. Here we go. This is it. Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast. A dick flies to the night.
Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
and that's when I found out that the anti-vaxxer purposely gave me autism. Got him again. It's so easy to break him right off the bat.
Guys, welcome to the Beacon House Podcast.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're recording an episode for terrible reasons.
I don't even know what's going on. So, hey, welcome to the podcast, you guys. It's been kind of a weird night for us. And we're just going and doing the thing, and it's just like it is. So, anyway, we hope you guys are doing well today. I'm Spencer.
I'm Hunter.
I'm Casey.
And what are we going to talk about today, you guys?
Well, I thought it'd be kind of interesting if we just talked movies today and kind of give the audience an idea of what our favorite movies are, what the majority of the movies we're probably going to cover.
Oh, you want to do like everybody gives a top five?
Kinda, except what I want to do is I want to name a genre.
Let's force ourselves into a top five.
Well,
it doesn't have to be static. It doesn't have to be permanent. But like in
Right
this
now,
episode,
what's your top five?
Well, just a potential top five. So we'll talk about what we like, what we think, genres. We'll do all that stuff. But by the end of this episode, we will all arrive at our top five all-time greatest movies.
Agreed upon together.
No, not. I mean,
no,
we could each have our
individually.
individual top five.
Okay.
This will
Because
be
I know
top
you're going to have
15.
something by fucking M. Night Shyamalan. I am not doing that shit.
No, I don't think he's not in my top five. One of his movies probably goes in my top 10, being Unbreakable, but not in my top five.
I like Signs more than Unbreakable.
Oh, get out of here. Unbreakable was priceless. It was a great...
Priceless in the way that like you shouldn't spend any money on a ticket.
I don't want to
see
see
it.
No, Unbreakable was
Priceless
awesome.
in that Unbreakable is unbreakable as a movie.
Unbreakable,
It certainly didn't break
unfortunately, the movie...
any records at the box office.
Unfortunately, the movie The Dark Knight exists as the greatest superhero movie of all time. So Unbreakable can't be the greatest superhero movie, but it is a great superhero movie.
Okay, that's cool. I was trying to be nice.
No. I agree with Casey, but I couldn't fucking say it because I'm still messed up.
Look.
The
That sounds-
anti-vaxxer thing, I'm sorry.
yeah.
I didn't mean to
I
do that.
100% support your right to love whatever it is you love, and that's fine. But let's get into it. So you want to talk about movies? Let's talk about what is it about movies that?
Well, the first
What
thing
aspects of movies would you like to get into?
before we start talking about our top fives, I think what would be a good starter is what's your favorite genre? Like, what do you hold true and dear? It could be a tie between two, but like Spencer, what are the type of movies that you see up on trailers and you go, I gotta see that just because it's that genre?
Man, I don't have a good answer for this. Like I wish, I wish I had something really clever to say, and I don't. I like movies that are compelling, and I like movies that kind of give me something I didn't expect. And beyond that, it's not real genre specific.
So you're not a big fan of like blockbuster Michael Bay explosion movies. You like something that makes
if it
you
was
think.
done, if I felt like it was done well, and I enjoyed it, then I would like. I'm a big fan of the Star Wars movies, and those are considered really commercial by a lot of people. But to me, they feel exciting, and that. But
They're just a lot of fun. You just eat popcorn and just watch this. Let it fill your head.
Well, and not only that, but I buy in. Like I'm into the whole like when you see like the new Jedi, like Daisy Ridley or whoever it is, like grabbing the lightsaber and getting tough, and like you hear the music building up and the John Williams. I'm a sucker for that.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a hook. Same way with music, and like it. I could go in a movie like that, no problem. But if I see a movie that just kind of like, I don't know, if it just doesn't hit me the right way, it's real weird. It's almost hit or miss. I kind of have to just go, well, we'll see how this one does. I will say this. The movies recently that I've been the most blown away by are kind of indie, a little artsy, a little bit indie, like Safety Not Guaranteed. And I was a big fan of the one that won all the Oscars, The Shape of Water, and just slightly odd movies like that. I was a huge fan of Silver Linings Playbook before it got gigantic. I was still a fan when it got gigantic, but I saw it when it opened in like the art theater and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm a big fan of like movies that are kind of like, I was a big fan of Juno. Movies that kind of have that I don't know.
Feel to it.
I don't know what you would call that feel. To me, it's just really, really clever. And I don't know if that's necessary. I don't want to say indie movie because that sounds like some dick that works at the record store. It's like, dude, I wore Converse before they were cool, which I totally ripped that off from Butch Walker. But like, you know what I mean? Like, you want to be like, I liked it before it was cool. I'm not trying to be one of those guys, but there's a thing about those kind of movies I dig.
Right. Hunter, what about you?
I love so much stuff. It's really hard to even.
Like, I feel like you have seen every movie. And you could go, well, how do I break it down? Would you like for me to alphabetize it for you?
Well,
It's close, but not.
I also
quite
feel
every
like
movie.
when I watch movies, I've been told a few times by a few close friends that I'm a little annoying to watch movies with because I'm a walking, talking IMDb. And when I see an actor that I really like and that's in another movie that I really enjoy, I automatically am just like, oh, that guy, he was in this movie and I really liked him in that movie. And they're like, great, we're watching this movie now though, so shut the hell up.
I have the
Okay.
opposite problem. I have the same IMDb brain thing happening, but with me, it's more like I'm dying to talk about it and tell you, but in the moment, I'm struggling against that. And then if anybody else, public or private, starts talking, I get like volcanically angry real quick, and then it just builds up on the inside. And at some point, I'm like, you need to shut the hell up and watch the movie.
Yeah.
Which
If a
is
friend of mine
not good.
Yeah, a friend of mine came back from a vacation and was talking about he went with his girlfriend and they went to stay with her family or something.
Mm-hmm.
And as a family activity, they were all watching movies. And apparently their family culture is to just talk through the whole movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
And they were saying things like, well, wait, is he the killer? Wait, is the killer? Is he going to go outside? Is he going to kill that girl next? And every one of their questions were about to be answered by the movie. And my poor friend was just like, if you guys would just watch the movie, you would see the answer to these things. But to them, a movie is like a talking event.
To be fair, though, and I don't, it's only a few, but there are some movies I've seen the first time where I've also done that with other people, and that always pisses me off. But with these few exceptions, it was part of the experience that made it work, and I didn't feel like I lost anything watching the movie either, and I don't know why.
Do you know what movies those were?
I don't.
What's a good movie to talk all the way through?
The Haunting of
I'm
Molly
guessing-
Hartley is an exceptional piece of shit. And, that one, that's not what I'm talking about now, but that was the only time where everyone in the theater was talking, was texting, pulling out their phone, playing app games and shit. I was there with my friend Luke from high school.
Holy
we
shit.
were super pumped about it, and then we were like, oh God, this fucking turd of a film. And then the blue
Like the
glow
toilet
from
flushes somewhere in
yeah,
the background?
yeah. No, there's the blue glow of like all the chicks next to us and their boyfriends and everybody on the other side of us from their phones and shit. And like we finally looked over because everyone was talking, no one gave a hell damn. It was a terrible movie. Look over, we're like,
Wow.
hey, what are you texting about? What's going on? We started talking about their phone conversation. And
What's up on Snapchat, yo?
I got a free ticket afterwards. I feel bad about it now because I feel like I was probably a dick, but I wasn't trying to be. When it was over, I was mad. And not at the, you can't get mad at the theater. They can't help if the movie sucks or
Sure,
not. But I
sure.
went out and I was like, I've never been so bored in a movie before. I don't want my money back, but can you do
You're like,
something?
please, God, stop showing this.
Yeah, and the manager was like,
Someone
I
might
mean,
see it.
She checked the time. Like, I guess she thought I was trying to pull one over. She was like, you finished it, though. And this is the part where I feel like I was a dick, probably. She was like, but you finished the movie. You want something back? I was like, well, forgive me for trying to stick it out and see if the ending saved it.
Sorry, I thought it might quit sucking.
I don't know why.
Dude, if you
But-
if you make a movie and people pull their phones out and start playing games on their phones during the movie,
You got a problem on your hands.
it's over.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and sell toner in the valley.
That had to be like 6 years ago or something now, 6 or 7 years ago. But
Shit.
And that's not the experience I'm talking about. What I was referencing was more what you were saying, where you're talking about the movie with
Yeah.
people. And I fucking hate that with a passion, but I've done it before. And I don't remember the movies, and I don't know why it was okay to me then, as rare as it is, and it's not any other time. I don't.
So like what about like let's say like the last two movies that you were really impressed by, regardless of genre, what kind of movies were they?
I'm gonna get in so much shit.
Go for it.
Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice,
Okay.
which I will defend to the death. Casey,
It was a good movie. It was crowded but good.
it was an exceptional movie that was not crowded.
Ding, ding,
We'll,
ding.
we'll talk about it later. But obviously, superheroes. I love comic books. I was gonna say sci-fi fantasy. Just those are really broad brackets, and you guys know like kaiju and everything that goes inside of sci-fi. But because of that, it covers almost everything.
Of course.
Yeah.
That I watch, except the other genres. So, but those are the two that you find most of my movie shelves.
And I want to clarify too. When I do the IMDb thing, like I pinpoint an actor, I don't talk about it for hours. I'll literally just say it and be like, "That's that guy from this thing," and they're like, "Great," and then they go back to the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
I don't continue to talk through a movie.
Okay.
At least I really hope I don't, because I love movies, and I have to say, if I ever watch a movie with somebody and they just all the way through are giving me
He's
commentary,
making talking motions with his hand.
I mean, it doesn't.
It does matter.
I'm not calling it
This
out.
is not
I'm
a
doing
visual
it.
podcast, Casey.
Zing.
But there's been people I've watched movies with who do the fucking Mystery Science Theater commentary throughout the whole thing. And especially if it's a movie I've not seen yet, if it's a movie I've watched several times, it's fine. Like, we can make commentary. I know what's going to happen. I know what's going on. If it's something that I wanted to see and I've not seen it yet, shut the fuck up.
I remember an occasion now, not one of the ones I was thinking of, but it was my favorite viewing of this movie. The Strangers is one of my favorite horror films. And probably, God knows, like the 80th time I'd seen it, I was with one of my bandmates from high school, Hayden, and he had never seen it before. And at first it was pissing me off because he was like making fun of it and stuff. And then it got to the point, I miss him so much. He's such a fucking goofball. It got to the point where it was so silly what he was doing that I couldn't be mad anymore. And it was the funniest shit ever. He was giving a commentary like he was the director, but like it was a documentary and he knew what was going on. And he was like giving you the dialogue from the killers, the silent killers' point of view. It was Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Goldilocks. They wanted a cup of sugar and they didn't know why the people inside the house were being so mean to them and didn't know why they were so afraid. God. They kept knocking here. Like, we just want to come in. We left the turkey in the oven and we need some help. Just the whole fucking time. And then like Liv Tyler freaks and breaks her ankle and they're like, oh shit, well I guess we got to get the axe real quick. We got to help her out with this one. And then it was just this like friendly family that was like, hey neighbor. And
Wearing
it was
masks
like,
and then
well, no,
sharp-
yeah, but that's what made it
Well, I
work.
mean, how do you ask for sugar?
Not with a mask on, with
I
a
do.
sharp object in my hand.
I only ask for sugar with a mask on.
Yeah, if you want to get results, that's what you play to your strengths.
Not a sharp object.
Casey, what would you say your genres are?
It's weird because thinking of my top five, I love horror movies.
Don't get all ubiquitous. You asked this question.
I know. I love horror movies. They hold a really strong place in my heart. I prefer sci-fi horror movies. I just enjoy the idea of like what could come. But I really love.
I don't think that's sci-fi, Casey. I don't think that's sci-fi
Is it
horror.
not?
No, I think that's like that's adult fan fiction.
Oh, I like
That's
that.
Godzilla.
It's after 3 a.m. again,
No,
just
this
to
is true.
apologize.
Yeah. One of my favorite genres, and it's a very unpopular one, is found footage films. I really
bless you for
enjoy.
it.
I really enjoy found footage films. Most of them are trash, but every now and then you get a really just pure gold movie like Troll Hunter.
Oh,
Or you
yes.
get, or like the very first Paranormal Activity, which a lot of people shit on, was a great.
Do people shit on it?
A lot of people
Yeah.
don't like that franchise.
Really?
Because they
franchise
think it's
took a
like they
turn,
think
but-
it was all like a big money grab. Which now
I
all
thought
the
the
movies
first
are.
Paranormal Activity was a slam dunk.
It
I thought
was-
that was almost universally agreed on.
I love the fact that found footage.
I mean, there's always some dick that's just like, "Eh."
Yeah. Well, I just love the fact that found footage films can be made with such a small budget and still be terrifying.
I
Which
love that-
most found footage films are horror movies, and I just
Yeah.
enjoy the fact that they can still get those good scares on a low budget, which gives a lot of like independent people a chance.
I love that you care about the budget. Like
Yeah.
Casey's really like, I hope they had a nice sandwich tray on set.
Well, no, I just like you have somebody that makes a film with a really shitty budget and it shows. You know, it's a little rough to watch.
I would argue in defense of what you said about found footage films. I love them as well. A lot of them are shit, and then there's the really good ones. But the fact that the shit ones are still fun as hell, and you don't feel like you wasted time, like you can sit down and you're like, man, that was stupid as hell, but that was also dope. You see that stuff there, and you can like have fun talking about it. It's like Batman. It's like Godzilla. All these things that I love. But and it applies to other entertainment things too. I think it speaks to the strength of found footage films that regardless of quality, there is entertainment value there, because film is an art, but it is also an entertainment art. And first and foremost, it needs to entertain. A comedy that's terrible is forgiven if it makes you laugh.
Yeah.
A found footage horror movie is always safe because at some point you're going to be like, yeah, that was cool.
And I think there's 3 on Netflix. I don't know if they're all still on Netflix. I know a couple of them are. But there's 3 that have all different opinions about. There's Frankenstein Theory, which was hot trash.
I haven't seen that one.
Just real hot trash. Then there's Devil's Pass, which is about the Dietlof's Pass incident, where all those hikers went missing, and then they turned up and they're all radiated and like eyes gouged out, tongues missing, and no one ever found out. That was a really cool. That one's a slow burn, but the ending is just so awesome. The ending is great. Saves the entire movie.
Is it still on Netflix?
I believe so.
Check it out.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
Check it out.
The other one is Frankenstein's Army, which is like this very weird. It falls right in the middle of those other 2, and it's about a Russian military group that gets stuck in like a Nazi warehouse where they've been like making crazy zombie soldiers with like giant knives as arms and crazy like chainsaw faces, and it's just real
chainsaw face.
It's, I don't know if that's exact, but like there's one point where literally one of those like Nazi soldiers with like a cloak and a gas mask and a helmet comes like poking out, and his legs and arms are giant metal spikes, and he walks like a spider.
Nice.
And it's bizarre.
And it's a found
weird.
footage film?
It's also a found footage film.
So you see these things, but it looks like it's on a...
it looks like it's on like a moving camera.
Like a handy cam. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And the most recent one that I really enjoyed was The Visit, which was an M. Night Shyamalan film.
Okay.
But,
He did it was a found footage film?
yeah, it's all from the aspect of a kid filming, like going to meet his grandparents for the first time after not knowing them for years. And like him and his sister go and spend like a...
Let me ask you this: is and I'm not shitting on him either. I just I have kind of the same opinion about a lot of them. I thought Paranormal Activity was great. I thought Troll Hunter was great. Big up for Troll Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was you. I know there's like a probably a select group of people that really enjoyed it. But if you did, props to you. Like, we think alike. You know, I could see why people would go, "This is dumb as shit." But for everybody that didn't say that, you fucking rock. Okay. About the found footage films, is the appeal to you of found footage films, is the appeal to you the realism? Does it feel more real? Does it feel scarier because it almost looks like something that's like tangible?
It's not that it feels more real. It feels like my childhood. Like growing up as a kid, if one of the kids in the neighborhood had a camcorder or a camera, we would make stupid little scary films like that. That, I mean, to us, we're like, oh man, this is awesome. Other people would find it absolutely terrible. But it's cool to me to think that people like me that did that grew up and kept making them with a little bit better of a budget and actually made something.
Made a franchise out of it.
Okay.
And Hunter, what do you think? What's the appeal for found footage for you?
It actually kind of similar. It goes back to not realism, but the fact that it feels possible to actually do.
Got it.
There's a... It doesn't make or break it, but there is a definite fun factor in like watching it happen and being like, oh, me and my friends, we could go do that next weekend, and then, you know, pay off a house and get a trilogy deal at Paramount.
It doesn't it's not like watching a movie like Dunkirk or something that just had such an insane budget and a score. It's just such a big thing that it's almost incomprehensible for like we could never make a movie like that, but we could probably scrounge up some cameras and make a found footage film that might not suck. It might, you know, but I see what you're getting at on that.
I also enjoy the story of just like these people, you know, the police found these tapes, check it out. Honestly,
so it's kind of like the mystery unfold, like you're figuring it out rather than the movie's sort of force feeding you a story.
Right. The one I want to sit down and watch with you guys, and I bought it on my phone because I couldn't find it streaming anywhere else, is called Hell House LLC. And it's about these kids that open up a haunted house. Have you seen it? It's so good. Like, it's scary how
Oh,
good
have you seen it?
this-
You've seen it too?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's about these people that go around opening up haunted houses, and they find this place for super cheap, start making all the props and get this haunted house going, and then all of a sudden, like, props start moving, going other places, and shit happens, and it's just a really good found footage film, and that just kind of came out, went under the radar.
Let me ask, how old is that?
I believe it came out in 2014.
Yeah, it's 2 or 3
I
years.
saw something like that. I'm going to get this totally wrong, but there was one I saw. It was about I think the one I saw was about a group of like kids or young adults that were like thrill seekers, and they went to like these crazy extreme haunted houses all over the country. What was that called? And they
Paranormal
go to
State.
one, and it's supposed to be this crazy haunted. Oh no! It's like a
Paranormal.
illegal. Like they have to get like they go to like the.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's on Netflix. It's a documentary about people who do torture haunted houses.
Yeah, and they have to, and it's like illegal,
Wait,
so they
what?
have to go like on the dark web and like.
I haven't seen this.
They fucking find like somebody will tell them a secret address. Hey, go to this cornfield in Iowa, and they road trip out there or something.
They sign a waiver, then they get put in a van and driven to this
Yeah,
haunted
yeah,
house
and
where
it's supposed
this
to be
dude basically just runs them through torture scenarios.
But when they get there, they're kind of like, okay, this is not funny, and it turns out like, yeah, it's like super crazy. It's like Hostel for like haunted houses.
Maybe
or
we're
something.
thinking about two different things. Mine's a documentary about a real dude that does this. Yours sounds super weird.
But you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
You just described the one I'm talking about. They sign a waiver, and it's like torture or haunted house.
I think I saw that one.
Yeah.
I know what one you're talking about.
But I guess my question was, that's not what you're talking about.
No, mine was actually like a legitimate documentary about this guy
Yeah.
who runs a haunted house, and he literally like when he's talking to people about that work there, he's like, all right guys, like if you see someone throw up, pick it up, throw it back in their face, like get them really like get in their face. They can't do anything. They signed a waiver. Just really give it to. And I was like, I don't know how this guy is still in business. And of course, at the end of the documentary, you find out that like the inspectors show up and they're like, how have you been doing this without anybody knowing? No, shut it down.
Sounds
But he would
crazy.
like film it and then like go back and watch it. Like it's super weird. Me and my roommate just brought it up on Netflix, started watching it, and couldn't stop because it was such
And it's
a
called
train
Hell
wreck.
House LLC.
No,
that's different.
That's a different movie.
Oh,
This is
okay.
a documentary that I can't remember what the name of it was, and honestly, I don't want to remember it because I'll never watch it again.
I feel like that's what I'm talking about, isn't it?
No, that's not. I know which one
'Cause-
you're talking about. I
Okay,
saw that a
okay,
few
okay,
years ago.
okay,
It's
okay,
different.
Okay.
Man,
Hell
real
House
confusing.
LLC is it's got way more going on than Paranormal Activity 1, but I feel like it structured similarly. It's very, very slow burn, and by the time the shit hits the fan, it has eked up just enough so subtly that like you're tense and you don't realize it, and then the shit is hitting the fan and you're like white knuckled gripping the couch and you don't want to keep watching, and the shit that you're looking at is freaking
yeah?
you out, and then it's over.
Oh, I'm in, dude.
The end of that movie fucked with me so bad.
Yeah, it's rough. The ending's really neat.
Like the last 10 minutes, get out.
Honestly, like
Just
even like VHS 2 are great found footage, like anthology film, like little short films from really up and coming directors. And then you have one of my favorites is Grave Encounters. The second one, don't watch, it's terrible. But the first one about a paranormal group that gets locked in an insane asylum, do like ghost adventures, and then at the end, like as they're doing it, recording and trying to catch a ghost, they're not really finding anything, and they're like, it's been like 5 hours and the sun hasn't come up yet. And so they like finally find a way to like open up the door to get outside, and it's just another hallway that goes deeper into the insane asylum. And then they find out they're trapped, and then shit starts hitting the fan. I love it.
Have you seen that one, Hunter?
I've seen both of them. They're both great. The thing I don't like about 2,
The ending is so trash.
no,
The
it's
floating cameras. Ugh.
the fucking. I hated that part. But I think 2 is very good. Grave Encounters and Grave Encounters 2 are very Insidious Chapter 2 to me, where the second one has a narrative that is so intrinsically built on weaving in and out of the pockets of the first one that it makes viewing the first one completely different and makes watching the second one really fun because you're like, oh shit, it's that, blah, 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 blah. But it also, I feel like in both cases, detracts from what's really freaky about number 1, because then there's all this extra stuff in the sequel going on, and you're like, well, that's not actually what we thought it was anymore.
Yeah. I will say, talking about Insidious 1 and 2, if that has to be a whole nother podcast talking about James Wan and Blumhouse and just
Okay.
the stuff they do. every time I see Blumhouse or James Wan producing, has his hands in it in some way, I'm there. The Conjuring, the Insidious series, Annabelle, like they're just all heavy hitters.
It's been a really strong franchise.
Yeah.
It's been. I like it most of the way. I gotta say, in Insidious, when you finally saw the thing, I thought it was so stupid.
What, Darth Maul?
What?
Darth Maul. It's basically Darth Maul.
Yeah.
I
was like, this is kind of scary. Okay, here's the big reveal. What?
No,
it was
I
like
loved
the
it.
second one.
It was
I
a
love
hellish
the hell out of
Cabbage
that.
Patch. I've seen the second one.
Have you seen the third one?
Yeah, I've seen all of them, and I like them.
Including 4? 4 just came out.
I have not seen 4. I want to watch it.
Was it
The Last Key.
The Last Key.
No, I haven't seen that.
It's
I saw
that one
Annabelle,
looked good.
or I saw like a bunch of. I saw
It is.
From my understanding, The Last Key is about the clairvoyant woman.
Oh yeah,
Goes back
okay.
to her childhood home where she was like tormented by a demon.
Okay, interesting. No, I think it's a good franchise. I think there are much scarier movies, and but I like kind of like extreme movies, like So I don't necessarily have like the standard barometer for scary movies and stuff. Like I like watching stuff where it doesn't even feel like a movie anymore. Like
See, like Hostel and stuff, because I can't
Way-
do gore porn. Like that's just
I like way crazier stuff.
You
than
guys ever
Hostel.
see the Poughkeepsie tapes?
Poughkeepsie tapes? No.
oh my god, that
I
Pretty
is
saw
nuts?
that. I've
Pretty
seen
nuts?
that once. I will never watch it again.
For me, one of the real benchmarks for me was like Martyrs.
I feel like the Poughkeepsie tapes would put you at it would make you very uneasy.
I need
Yeah.
to see it.
It's one of those movies that I don't know about Hunter. I watched it once. And that's it. There's not really a lot of gore,
No, there's
I would-
not. I think there's 2
but-
scenes that are graphic,
Right.
really.
I had to stop halfway through and take a break.
We took
And then-
breaks, yeah.
Yeah, I had to take a break
Oh, I
and then
gotta
come
see
back to
this.
the next. What it is it's
I'm
basically
in,
it's
dude.
it's tapes that were found by a serial stalker in Poughkeepsie, which is up north, I think New
Yeah.
York.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's in New York, I think.
And these tapes, there's no like scary music. There's no. They literally try to make it as, this guy recording himself killing people. And so like one of the ones that chills me to the bones, just gives me goosebumps, is he breaks in this lady's house and you see her just kind of walk around doing her normal day-to-day thing, and then she turns and in the dark sees him and then starts screaming and he runs after her, and it kind of cuts at that point. It chills you to the bone because it's like it's fake, but in your subconscious it's like, what if it's not? Like,
Well,
what
and
if-
it represents something that if it was not fake would be horrifying.
Yeah.
Like true human terror. And I don't want to make this all dark or anything like that, but see, and a lot of movies that don't have gore, I feel like a lot of movies that just are really good at suspense are that terrifying.
Yeah.
I like a movie that's really good at just the suspension of disbelief. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, even though you don't see like blood and guts or an eyeball pops out or some shit like that, you know what I mean? You get something where just the feel, like sometimes the use of light and shadow in movies or the use of camera angles. I love that stuff where
Yeah.
you're if the camera goes a certain way, you're afraid the monster's just out of frame and the camera won't look the way you want to look, and you freak yourself out. I love
Honestly,
movies that there's a definite art to horror movies like that.
Watch Paranormal Activity 3 because they did the most ingenious thing where they put a camera on an oscillating fan.
Yeah.
And they used it so well because it's a camera like it's on the oscillating fan and it moves at like medium speed, so it slowly pans left and then slowly pans right. And they can easily add stuff in each shot. But the
Amazing.
entire time you're just like, oh,
You're waiting for it to
God,
swing
like you're
back.
tensed up and you're like, holy shit. And then nothing happens. And you're like, oh, okay. And then it pans back left and something, gets you.
I'll tell you one more thing before we move on about Martyrs, okay, or Martyrs, or however you say it. But like
Thanks, Martyr.
movie, it's a tough watch. It's a tough watch.
I'm good. I like horror. Don't like torture porn.
Yeah, and I don't know that it would. Again, I don't know what qualifies that. But Martyrs is a pretty steep flick, and but Brotherhood of the Wolf, much
Yeah.
more.
That
entertaining.
makes me feel like I need to see Martyrs now, though. I love that movie so much.
It's not 1/10 of the movie that Brotherhood of the Wolf is, and it's certainly not as entertaining as Brotherhood of the Wolf. And I might add, and we'll save this for a future episode on cryptozoology, which we're going to do. If you don't like it, suck it.
The Beast.
Brotherhood of the Wolf is based on a 100% true story, which I heard as a child that I never thought. I like. Let's put it this way: if I meet people that are like, Yeah, I don't really like that. Or I don't care if they haven't seen it, but people that seen it and think it's trash,
I don't know how
I have
you
a hard
can.
time.
I don't think I've ever met anybody that's seen that movie and went, no, I didn't care for it.
I haven't either. But if I met somebody like that, I have a hard time loving them.
I don't know how you can see it and think that ever. That movie fires
Yeah,
on all
there's-
cylinders
Well,
in every way.
It does have a little bit of an identity crisis. Like, it's kind of an action movie, it's kind of a conspiracy movie, it's kind of a monster movie. But the monster that Jim Henson Creature Shop made,
Was that them?
Yeah.
The Muppet people did that thing?
so beautiful.
Oh,
the
my
thing was
God.
so fucking
Well,
beautiful.
no fucking wonder then, because it's there in camera. That's all they do is in camera
so good.
stuff.
And you get to see the thing, and you really get to see it, and it kind of becomes the star of the movie secretly. And like, man. Anyway, Brotherhood of the Wolf. That's one of my. Oh, well, let's start segueing into that. That's easily in my top 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also maybe. Well, I'm gonna have to think about it. You guys take over.
I already have my list.
You've already got?
I went, as you guys were talking, and just kind of thought of a few things off the cuff.
I'm assuming Martyrs is at the top of that list.
No, it's not. But these are just, without really thinking about it, the 5 top movies that I will always watch and are easily some
it could
of
be
my-
like a legacy 5. It doesn't have to. We don't have to commit to this. This can change. But for right now, if we had to just pick 5,
Pick 5, it would be number 1, Princess Bride.
are these in order of like best to worst?
Best to worst, or the ones I would watch the most to ones I would,
Okay.
So you have Princess Bride.
Okay.
Actually, I'd probably watch all these equally as much.
Okay. Well, and let's say in our top 5, they don't necessarily have to be best to worst. They could
Yeah.
just be 5 of the best in any particular order.
5 number ones.
Rob
Because you don't
Reiner-
always feel the same way. You're in different moods.
Yeah. Rob Reiner's Princess Bride, love it. It has everything. It's such a good movie. Interstellar. Christopher Nolan can do no wrong in my eyes, ever. Inception was fine. Insomnia, fucking
Insomnia is good.
Memento, all of those, like Christopher Nolan, love him. The Dark Knight, once again, Christopher Nolan can do no wrong. He gets 2 in my top 5. Aliens, which is kind of a solid tie between Alien and Aliens. I will watch them back to back if I usually watch one or the other. And Spirited Away. Miyazaki's one of my favorite. Actually, the first movie I saw in theaters by him, and I fell in love with it. It's a great movie.
Fucking respectable, solid list. And we found out earlier when we took a break. And now I'm ashamed to say I have not seen Interstellar, and I'm gonna watch it.
You need to.
If you don't watch it before I see you again, I'm bringing it to you, and you're gonna watch it. And then the next time I see you, you better have it and give it back to me because I'll hunt you down.
Jesus, he's like, I'm gonna give you this movie. If you don't watch it, I'm kicking you square in the balls.
Yeah, it's just really good.
All right, I'm in.
sci-fi.
I can't recommend it.
Hunter, what do
anymore.
you think? What do you think?
Top 5?
Sure.
Godzilla 1 through 5.
Certainly
Go to
not
commercial.
like that. Okay, so
Go to commercial.
caveat. I know as soon as I say this list, I'm gonna fucking think of something else and hate it.
Well,
But as you
that's
said, it
the
can be
whole
fluid.
reason. It's
but-
off the cuff,
Yeah,
top
yeah.
of your head.
So, even though they're very different, they're technically born in the same film. So, number 1 is going to be 2 movies: Gojira and Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Okay.
The original King Kong, Predator, Aliens, Disney's Tarzan.
I like that Predator
Jesus.
is up there. I like Predator is up there in the top
Predator
5.
is an underrated fucking movie. I
It
know
is.
that it
I
is
love
a
it.
I
cult
agree.
classic. I know that it's beloved, but it's also beloved on the level that, which is an okay thing, but the level that the goofy Godzilla movies are, or like the Adam West Batman is, where it's just like, well, yeah, it's cool. And Arnold walks in, he says some funny shit, and then he fights an alien. There's layers to that film.
When he stabs that dude to the wall and goes, "Stick around," and then takes his gun without aiming and just fires a bunch of other people and kills them all.
Yeah.
You can't get any campier, but better than that.
No, the movie definitely has camp going on, but it's excuse me. Aliens is my oldest brother's favorite movie. The middle brother, Adam, his favorite movie is Predator. So I was just brainwashed with those as a kid, but they're both great. Aliens it can speak for itself. History's been very kind to it. Academy Award nominee for Sigourney and all that. Predator, no one pays too much mind to. And I find it really unfortunate because it advertised itself as a sci-fi action thriller and then starts with the fucking spaceship dropping the Predator off on Earth. And by the time you come back around to the Predator 20 minutes into the movie, you have completely forgotten, the first few times you watch it, that there is an alien involved anywhere. You're just sucked into like Commando 2 and Arnold's in with his special ops team. And, they got all these type A personalities, and you can argue what kind of acting they're actually doing, but they're embodying their characters and they are embodying the archetypes that those characters are. So it's like the best G.I. Joe movie ever. You get halfway through and they start getting slaughtered, and you surround Arnold with really good actors. He's proving it more nowadays. He can actually act, and I think Predator, more than any of the Terminator films, proves that.
And we also got, conspiracy theorist Jesse Ventura straight out of that movie and delved straight into just, the darkest, deepest conspiracy theorists.
Wasn't Carl Weathers in that too?
Carl Weathers was in that, yeah.
Baller cast in Predator.
Jesse Ventura thought that Predator was a documentary, and that's where everything went downhill.
He has one of my favorite lines that's just so cheesy, but I can totally see some like Southern military dude just, saying it, and it's when the guys are up on the hill in the bunker, and he's like, they're dug in there like an Alabama tick. And then the guy looks at me and goes, hey, was it Blaine? Is he...
No, Jesse Ventura is Blaine. Poncho.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Jesse Ventura is Blaine.
Oh, yeah,
the guy looks
the
at me
other
and goes, the guy looks at me and goes, hey, Blaine, you're bleeding. He goes, I ain't got time to bleed.
Oh,
and he's like,
you got time to duck?
After that follows the next greatest line in the movie from Arnold, which he sees the, yellowy blood on the leaf, and he's like, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
But Bill Duke is also so good in that movie. All those guys are. Yeah. But his quiet moments, his moments of sorrow but strength in the face of that, which I'm probably giving this movie way too much like Oscar Beatty talk more than it deserves, but I really think these things of it, which is why it's in my top 5. The Ballad of the Lost Soldier or whatever, that really haunting kind of like trumpet music, that really low brass instrument song that plays in the middle of the movie when he's with Blaine's body and he's just recounting one of their stories from Afghanistan.
I think it's attacked by a boar and everyone makes fun of him.
Yeah. I mean, the boar is the brevity in the scene, but the right before that, like an Arnold Schwarzenegger versus an extraterrestrial action movie has no right to dive that deep and actually, hit every time, and it does. So I think that movie deserves way more credit than it gets.
I'm really excited to see what Shane Black, who was in the first Predator movie, is going to do with the new Predator movie. I'm intrigued.
That's fair. I think
Hawkins.
I think I'm gonna
your list?
I do, and I'm gonna cheat.
Okay.
I'm gonna fucking cheat my ass off because it's so hard. Like while you guys are talking, I'm thinking of movies over and over again. I'm thinking of all these movies that I can't put in my top 5, and it's killing me. They just keep coming to me over and over. Like I've got so many honorable mentions, it's not even funny. But Chud too.
Sorry.
I'm actually going to cheat a little bit because my top number 1 of all time, hands down, no question, also Princess Bride. Like Casey said, I feel like it's
the most quotable movie.
The perfect movie. I just don't think it's just the most perfect movie ever, and I'm a big fan of the process and the story and Andre the Giant and everybody. I listened, Carrie Elways recently came out with a book called As You Wish, and it's about the process of the making of The Princess Bride. And if you listen to it on audiobook, he narrates it. So you get to hear Wesley tell you about making the
That's
goddamn.
awesome.
It's so good. And he talks about meeting Andre and what a sweet guy Andre was, and it's incredible. You'll learn more about Andre the Giant from the people that were in the movie, and they all talk in the book. Like Rob Reiner's in it, the whole cast. But since you already said that, I'm going to hijack another 5 since that's already on the table. I just wanted everybody to know.
You put it in your 5?
No, I'm going to have another 5.
Oh, okay.
This will technically be my bottom 6 or something, but I'm going to go Tombstone.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's
You don't have to say anything.
Yeah, I'll be your Huckleberry.
If anybody doesn't know why Tombstone is nearly tied with The Princess Bride, go fuck yourself. And right off the tip of Sam Elliott's mustache. And then we already talked about it, Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Just because,
I refused to mention that because I knew it was going to be in your list.
Yeah, exactly. And then beyond that, it gets dicey because there's so many things I like so much. For right now, because it came up a little, I'm going to say The Prestige.
Oh my God, another Nolan film. Christopher Nolan.
A lot of people don't think about it like that. And then what is that? What did I? How many?
You got 3. You got 2 more to go.
No, I said Tombstone. I said Brotherhood of the Wolf. I said The Prestige. Okay. Beyond that, below that, I'm gonna have to go just because I'm thinking about it right now. Pet Cemetery.
Oh, hell yeah.
I haven't finished that movie. I can't finish it.
Oh, it's
I want
dark.
to, but I
It's
can't do it.
I read the book. I saw the movie, and I read the book, and then I saw the movie again, read the book again. So I'm obsessed with that whole story.
The book is scarier to me. The book is
hands down, but the movie is still a freaking masterpiece. I think.
which also the book or the movie was the first movie for me at least that broke the rule you can't kill kids in movies.
Yeah, or a lot of rules.
Yeah.
And that movie is 100%. The terrifying thing about that movie is not dead animals coming back to life. Like it is confronting your mortality, and about the first times. It's about so many huge, heady concepts that it's way bigger than it. Stephen King, I think, was even quoted saying like after he wrote that, he didn't realize how scary of an idea he had come up with. But like that deals with some serious thing. Anyway, it's very striking to me, and it's one of my.
Didn't he
favorites.
write that right after he got hit by the car? Or
No,
That was
later.
Dreamcatcher.
Okay.
Yeah. And holy crap! For my last one of my top 5, man. Honestly, just to kind of switch gears here and go with something that's not as heavy, I'm gonna say Caddyshack.
Okay.
Because we didn't see any comedies in here, and to me, I know Princess Bride and Tombstone are both highly quotable. I actually think Caddyshack is the most quotable movie of all time.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
To me, it's not. To me,
I feel like people quote that movie way more.
that people probably do, but it will never be as quotable to me as Caddyshack.
Are we
was.
saying quotable or how many people quote it? Because between my brothers and I, Aliens and Predator both are easily dropped in regular day conversation.
Game over, man. Game over.
See, those are the easy ones, but
God
there's
rest
also
his
stuff
soul.
like
oh my God, Bill Paxton, Tombstone. God love you, Bill.
someone got pissed at my brother, and I made the comment that I guess she didn't like the cornbread either, which is such a deep cut Aliens reference, and it took everyone in the room a second, and then
Laughter
gut
ensued.
laughter. Yeah, so we can do that, and then endlessly, and most people won't get it, and that's because they're not movies you normally think of, and the quotes are so not the game over man part.
Totally.
So
Now, I will say a few honorable mentions. That
Yeah,
didn't
let's
make
all
it.
take a few honorable mentions.
okay.
Evil Dead.
Boom.
Original, sequel,
Massive.
remake.
Done.
Army of Darkness. Bruce Campbell.
Sure.
Is up there with Christopher Nolan. Can do no wrong.
I'd
Ash
like-
versus the Evil Dead on Netflix right now.
Amazing.
Perfect.
Well, and I want to do an honorable mention to all the Kevin Smith movies.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
It's particularly Dogma, but also just so many other amazing Kevin Smith. It's hard not to even mention any of his. Like
Clerks, Mallrats, Clerks 2.
Yeah,
Red State.
Red
they were
State.
they were game
Oh,
changers. for
Red
me, too.
State is so good.
Do you guys remember a movie that had Madonna in it called A League of Their Own?
Sounds
Did you ever see
familiar.
that?
Oh yeah, I don't remember it, but I've seen it.
It's
yeah.
about the women's baseball league in the 40s or
Yes,
something.
okay,
When all
yes.
the men were off at war and they had to still keep baseball
Hanks
going.
is the drunk
Tom
coach.
Hanks was the drunk coach. To me, possibly Tom Hanks' strongest performance. I don't know. That's a tricky call, but like, man,
Castaway.
dude.
To carry a movie alone on your shoulders, talking to a volleyball, Castaway was the
Well,
strongest.
I mean, that's a tall order unless you've been in Bachelor Party and A League of Their Own. But at any rate,
Oh, how about Joe versus the volcano?
dude, when he wakes up and he's hammered
It's
and
not lava.
he starts kissing like
It's
the old
not
lady on the
lava.
bus.
It's not lava, Spencer.
Lava. And he wakes up and starts kissing the old lady on the bus, and he gets a good look at her, and he goes, "Wah!" And she starts crying, and he goes, "I loved you in The Wizard of Oz." I mean, it's dirty and it's great. So League of Their Own is another one of those where you don't think about it, and then it comes on, and it makes your whole day better. So those are my
Honorable mentions for me are ones that don't fit the genre that most of those other ones do. Jarhead, 8 Mile,
8 Mile's solid.
yeah. What is it? The Misfits.
The Mist.
The
I love The
Road,
Mist.
and the Valley of Ella.
Oh, The Road.
Yeah.
In the Valley of Ella with Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
That was the first time in my life I'd ever seen a movie that I didn't know what to say after having seen, and in a good way. It totally broke me.
100%.
Just silent. Afterwards.
Since we're doing a couple of honorable mentions, I only got really kind of one series out there. I would like to say any Miyazaki film. I love him. His hand-drawn animated films are fantastic.
Sure.
No Country for Old Men.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Hard-hitting.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I need to revisit it.
Okay. Because I like...
I've only seen it since it came out, so It's been a long time.
Cormac McCarthy has
Favorite
a way
author.
to just. It's such a slow read in any of his books,
Sure.
but they're just so gut punching,
Like The Road.
left and right.
The Road is incredible.
Yeah. Man, I'm trying to think. There's not a lot that's coming to mind that I can just.
There's a lot of
toss
good
up.
movies.
Yeah,
I
there's
should
a lot of good
say
movies out there.
Your Name.
Your Name is also
The recent Japanese film, Your
still
Name.
haven't seen it. Need to watch it.
Haven't seen it
Easily,
either.
that would be top 10 for
Okay.
me.
Okay. So look, kind of like in a summary here, wrapping this up. Like
We're all cinephiles.
We like a lot of stuff.
100%. Yeah. And I think movies are a good medium. I mean, I think it's a very legit medium. That's why I'm saying that I like movies that appear to be like art. I think it's a legit form of art. I hate people when people are like into music and painting and poetry. They shit on movies and like. I don't get that. I think you can make a movie really cool. It's very entertaining. I think it's very palatable to a wide audience. I think movies are totally dope. So anyway, we spent a lot of time today talking about movies and the kind of movies and stuff we like, kind of explaining we're going to do some movie reviews, and we're probably going to post them maybe once a month as like a bonus episode or something
Yeah.
like that.
I'd say so. End of the month.
Maybe, just depending on give or take opportunity. But we would like to hear from you guys. We would love to hear what kind of movies you like, what your top 5 is. In fact, that'd be super fun. If you guys want to hit us up on Facebook, if you want to go on Instagram, if you want to email us, go Twitter, whatever, and give us your top 5. We would love to review those and maybe revisit that in a future episode.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And go over. We'd love to hear some of the things if you guys have recommendations for us. If we get enough, I tell you what, man. If we read enough of these and we see a repeating theme, like we see a movie we're not familiar with in enough of these lists, we will watch it and we'll do a whole episode reviewing it, and we'll send that out to you guys. So please, we could use your comments and your suggestions, guys. You got anything?
No, I'm.
Where can they find us, Casey?
Okay. Oh, we're at that.
Looks
point.
like you do have something, you turd.
Ooh, excuse me. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Beacon House Knox. Email us, please email us at beaconhouse@gmail.com. I believe beaconhouseknox@gmail.com. I'm sorry.
There we go.
beaconhouseknox@gmail.com. Please email us your questions, your movie lists. We want to do an episode at least every couple months of mailbag. We just want to sit down, go through our mail, answer some of your questions. We've already got a few of those emails in.
First one.
They're fantastic.
We're saving them up. They're going to be good.
They're going to be good. Please send it in. Write us on Facebook. I'll start taking some notes on Facebook if you
Sure.
don't want to do an email. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for all the support. We're really digging this. We're enjoying making these episodes.
Yeah, I hope we don't. I mean, I think we're far enough along now where maybe we can ask for, like, if you want to go on iTunes and give us a good review. If you're listening to this on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, or just whatever. Like, we're getting to the point now where we're starting to get a little bit of attention, and we could use some good feedback or bad feedback. Just tell us what you think. If you think we suck, give us, give it to us straight.
I mean, you'll probably be. It's more likely you'll be mentioned if it's a bad review, but you'll probably be made fun of.
Yeah.
Or I'll just cry. I'll just go to the corner and cry because you're right and I suck.
I think you talked about this in one of the other episodes, didn't you?
I think so,
I'm
maybe.
gonna go ahead and put it out here right now. Free bag of coffee to anybody that can make Casey cry.
Oh God! Please don't do that because
I'll be right
I'm
back.
sensitive.
And on that note, folks,
I'm so sensitive.
This is the Beacon House Podcast signing off before Casey gets too fucking emotional. My name's Spencer McCoy.
Hunter Barnhart.
I'm Casey Bishop, and I love you.
He really does.
Oh my.